welcome back. This is part 2 of the tour of my tiny house, barn construction, creepy barn, I don't know what. Just basically showing you what it's like to live in a building site while I'm working on renovating a stone barn here in Central Portugal. I realize I'm coming in yet again from the doorway, but today I'm going to actually put a bit of paint on the thing. I haven't decided yet if this is the color I want, so I'm going to do a few brush strokes somewhere on this door and see what it looks like. And then maybe the next time I start talking to you from my doorway, it'll be a beautiful blue door, or maybe I will reject the blue and it will be as is, or maybe it will be some other color. I don't know yet. It's all just so exciting, isn't it? So I'm gonna put some paint on this door, see what it looks like, and then I'll get on with the tour. It looks pretty blue. I should probably stir it, but I can't find anything to stir it with right now, so let's just do this. Alright, test patch done. This is definitely not the right paintbrush for the job, but I only wanted to put a little bit on anyway. So, it seems pretty bright, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna see how it looks in different lights. It's probably gonna be hard to make a judgment just with that tiny little patch, so I might just, if it doesn't offend me tomorrow when I look at it, I might just go for it. I might just paint the door, and all of this scariness will be gone forever beneath some very bright and aggressive blue. The door blue seems very similar to the color of the tarp, which I don't think I love. So I might need to reassess my paint color. But we'll see. I'll make a decision soon. Bye. But enough about paint and doors. Let's finally go inside and take a look at the rest of the barn slash house. So I'm going to start part 2 of the tour with my trusty flashlights, because I'm taking you into the deepest, darkest corner of the house, which is my shower and bathroom area. Right now it's just a shower and a toilet box. Eventually it will also be a bathroom sink, and the toilet box will be banished outside into a compost toilet building that I haven't built yet. But let's go take a look at what's over there in the dark corner of the shower, and I'll talk you through sort of my current showering bathroom kind of experience, which I'm sure everyone is just so excited to hear about. So follow me. Getting just around the corner into the darkness is my bathroom area. Toilet box down there, sawdust for toilet box, and this will be where a bathroom sink goes. I've already sort of made an outlet for the water to go away. And then in here is the shower area. And the shower has a rather exciting little gizmo that allows me to actually wash my hair and have a sort of normal-ish type of shower experience. It's a little USB water pump thing, and I think it was maybe about 20 euros online. And basically I just charge up the little motor part with the USB and drop that into the pot, turn it on, and it pumps the water up into a shower head, and then it flows down onto my head, and I wash my hair. It's unfortunately not the most relaxing shower experience. It's pretty rushed, and I have to turn the motor pump thingamajiggy on and off in order to make sure I have enough water to wash my hair. I don't really look forward to having a shower. It's kind of more of a pain in the neck than an enjoyable experience at this stage, but I have a pretty good setup. It could be a lot worse, and I'm just excited the water goes away out of a drain and I have like a private space to actually be in to clean myself. Previous to that, I'd kind of been doing like very sketchy bucket washes, sort of sitting outside. Not ideal. Not ideal for anyone. Nobody passed at the exact wrong moment, but there's always that possibility. This will all be rendered with lime eventually. This will also be covered in lime. Right now it's just cob. I really enjoyed making this. It's Essentially, I guess it's a cob wall, but it's got sort of a wooden frame within it so that I didn't have to make the wall super thick. And you can see it's quite sort of, you know, narrow. So that just allowed me to not take up so much space in a small area. And so leaving my bathroom area, we have another chaos area. It's where I have my clothes, some toiletries, toothbrush, books, you know, random things. Oh, one important thing in life, if you live in this part of the world, is one of these guys. It's a USB fan, and in the summer, it saves my life. On certain days, all I can do is lay in bed with the fan pointed at my face and just wait for the heat to pass. It really is so hot. It's hard to imagine. It's probably the worst part about living in this part of Portugal is those few weeks of the summer. I dread it every year. But yeah, I'm prioritizing making a splash pool. I have my little fan. You adapt. You get used to these things. But I do not love it. And then beyond the wall of random stuff, I have the Bezzanine. We're actually sort of already within the Bezzanine in the bathroom area as well. What's a Bezzanine, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Is it a bed? Is it a mezzanine? No, it's a Bezzanine. Basically, just a mezzanine with a bed under it. So it's a glorified, gigantic bunk bed, basically. So it's my first ever timber frame, and I love it. I'm really, really into timber framing, and I can't wait to come up with some other project. Big or small, doesn't matter. I took a course in February of 2021 in Costa Rica at a place called Rancho Mastatal, which is one of my favorite places I've ever been. It's really, really cool. And the teachers were great on the course, and the way they taught the course I thought was really, really well done. Not only did they give us sort of the capabilities and skills to make the joins and do all that stuff, learn how to do the drill holes, make pegs and stuff like that, but more importantly, they taught us how to actually design a timber frame. Okay, so now, enough of that, on to the Bezzanine. Let me try to walk you through this thing. I'm going to make a whole video about the Bezzanine. I have loads and loads of filming that I've done in order to make this thing, so I'm not going to talk about it too much now, except that it's made of Douglas fir. It took me about 5 months to build. I used timber framing techniques. So these pegs here are wooden pegs all the way through. There's no screws or anything. This one actually didn't even make it through, so that's, just a little bit of character there. Character/mistake. And this is my bed, made to a dubious standard. These walls, they're not dusty, but if I were to touch them, it would sort of crumble off. So I kind of just sort of sleep away from the wall. Eventually, I'm going to plaster that, but I also want to incorporate some kind of shelving, maybe some cupboards, something. So on the other side of the wall of the bed is my kitchen. And this little alcove thingamajiggy here is the back of the fridge, so it can sit in a bit further. I ended up making the bed a little bit too long, and so rather than just have sort of random space at the end of the bed, I'm short, I don't need that space. I decided to do it so that I can push the fridge back a bit, and then I can have more space in the kitchen, and then I can use these bits as sort of shelving and storage as well. Each one of these pieces was, just hand carved. I did everything with hand tools. Well, I did most of it with hand tools. I used a drill to make the drill holes, but I carved each peg by hand. It's ridiculous. It was a ridiculous undertaking, but incredibly, incredibly enjoyable for me. Things like these braces and stuff were challenging, but you do one and then you figure out how to do the rest. I really feel like I learned a lot during this project, and like I said, I'm excited to come up with some other timber frame project. All right, let's walk 10 centimeters this way and come into the kitchen, which is what I'm working on now. This morning, I actually ended up doing a lot of plastering, so you can see I've got a layer of plaster on there, and I've done sort of a cross-hatch thing so that the next layer of plaster will stick on more easily. So this layer of plaster is just a base layer. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm actually using it to practice my technique. I've done a little bit of plastering, but not a huge amount, so I want to get really good at it before I start doing the final coats. And this is a good place to practice because not only is it just a first layer, but it's also going to be hidden behind my kitchen sink and my cabinets and stuff like that. This will be shelving. of some kind. And then where I currently have my drinking water and eggs and milk, there'll be just a kitchen counter that comes out with a cupboard underneath. On this side, I think it'll be a tall cupboard, or maybe just shelves to start, and then I'll put a cupboard door on it at some point. So this area is something I'm pretty excited about. I think I'm going to end up putting a little window in here, but I'm going to keep these stones exposed. I'm going to point in between them, and I'm going to try to clean them off as best I can. And this is going to be kind of a feature wall where you can see the stones. This will be plastered nicely and sort of curved like this. And then I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to probably attach some kind of nice olive wood or something like that. And then a metal bar that goes across. And then same on the other side with the olive wood. And that'll just basically create these bars that I can hook spoons and pots and pans and stuff on. And then down here, I'll probably end up having like just a little mini shelf and a couple more shelves below those. But you'll see the rocks coming through. It sort of seemed like a shame to completely cover up all the rocks, but I'm not crazy about the rock look. I love it on the outside of the house. I think it looks amazing. But on the inside, for me, it's just a little bit too dark and cavey. But I do like the idea of having a feature wall, so some people will just, keep one wall rocks. I did think about that idea for the wall where I have my stove, but I decided against it. So I'm gonna just have these rocks right here showing through. But I think it's sort of an interesting design element to keep the rocks there, make them all nice. Hopefully it looks really cool. And if it doesn't, if it looks like garbage, I can just cover it up and forget that it ever happened. And then up on the top of the Bezzanine is the mezzanine part of the Bezzanine, which is basically completely packed with all kinds of stuff. I've got all of my wood up there, out of the way. I've got a whole bunch of jars that I've been accumulating because I want to start a business making pickles, perhaps. I've got lots of plumbing stuff in those bags. I've got bags of mystery. I have linseed oil. I've got a big thing of cork. There's just a lot of stuff up there. A lot of stuff. I kind of put stuff up there and then I just ignore it. I don't want to know. When something goes up there, it usually stays up there for a very long time. I tend to use all the stuff that I have down, and that usually just goes over in the corner. So anytime something goes up into the mezzanine, it's usually just banished for a long time. Hello from the mezzanine. I'm amongst the banished items. It's very dark and gloomy up here. I have master plan of making this into a sleeping space. Believe it or not. I'm slowly working through the building supplies that are up here, and eventually this space up top will be clear, or at least clear to the point where I can have a mattress on one side and then storage on this side here. So yeah, I'm really happy to have the space. It's been really useful to be able to get some of the clutter away from the ground floor. I'm very pleased that I decided to go with the Bezzanine design, because whether you make a mezzanine or a Bezzanine, the mezzanine portion of it will be very useful. And on to the window. The window. So for the record, this is not my window. This is a hole I made when I locked myself out of the house and I had to break back in. Basically, I thought it would be easier to go through the wall than to break down the door. I know how to repair a stone wall. I don't know how to repair a metal door. I found my crowbar outside, and so I basically took the stones down and climbed in, sort of Supermaned through. Yeah, and then built it back up. As I was taking the wall down and Supermaning through the hole, I really couldn't help but laugh. It's one of those things. It was an annoying situation, but it was also very hilarious. And so I just got it done, and I got back inside. I chose this route because I had already taken 25 centimeters out of the wall to make my window hole. I haven't yet gone all the way through because I really don't know how to, and I'm kind of just stumped and stuck and been avoiding it. But when I locked myself out, when that door clicked behind me, oh, how I felt stupid. But now I have this boarded up, weird, creepy window. The towel up here is my rain stop, as is the Hessian sack. Water seems to drip in from somewhere, possibly that giant hole there. Anyway, the whole thing is insane and looks insane, and I really do need to get a window in. And here we have my light switch. So that one is on. That's my cord kind of hanging, and light is on. The other switch does nothing. Right now this is all suspended by a piece of wood that has the wires sort of jammed in up there. Yes, not ideal. As I mentioned in my last video, electricity isn't something I'm really super interested in. So I probably will just not learn it and hire somebody who knows what they're doing to wire my house. This current setup I have is a totally temporary solution, obviously, set up by an electrician friend. So he knows what he's doing. He was probably very sad to have to put in such a wonky sort of system. It's not wonky, it's just that I haven't actually, decided where anything's going, so I don't want to do anything permanent. But the power goes where I need it to go, and this just buys me a bit of time to be able to figure out exactly where I want the electrics to go, exactly where the plug sockets will go, exactly where all the light switches will go, what sort of lighting fixtures I want. So now that I have that light source, I have a lamp that I plug in sometimes, and I've got some flashlights. I feel like it's just about adequate, and I don't have to rush too much into deciding on the type of lighting I want and where I want it. Obviously, this place is not really at the stage yet of final interior design decisions, so I'm gonna hold up on that stuff for a while longer, and for now, this will have to do. So I hope you enjoyed my little tour of my little house. I've enjoyed showing you around. It's obviously a work in progress, an extreme work in progress, but I have everything I need. I've got power, I've got a roof over my head, I've got 4 walls, I have a tiny fan. So, life is pretty good. So things will change quite slowly, but I'll chime in again at some point in the future with another tour and show you what's happening in here, what's changed, what life improvements I have, whether I'm still living in squalor or if I've kind of upgraded a little bit. Maybe next time I'll tidy up a bit. Maybe I won't. We'll see. So thanks for watching. If you like my video, please like the video, and if you really like the video, please subscribe. And to all the current subscribers and everyone that's watching, yeah, thanks a lot for following me on this journey. It's been really fun doing this YouTube thing, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. So yeah, thanks to everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.